All right. Happy Global Biodiversity Day, everybody. We're going to jump right in, and I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Seheno Andriantsaralaza. Seheno is a conservation biologist based in Madagascar with a focus on Baobab trees. You know these trees, they are so cool. Her research investigates what will happen to the Baobab trees if there aren't any animals to spread their seeds. Seheno works with local communities and empowers women in conservation efforts and activities. She was recently named to the 2023 class of the Explorers Club 50, celebrating incredible people around the world. That's where I met her, and I'm so excited to bring her back. Seheno, welcome.
Hey, hello, Brianna. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm so excited to join you today.
Yeah, happy Global BioFest.
Yeah, happy
Diversity
global
Day.
biodiversity. Yeah, this is really amazing.
Well, your work is really fun, so I'm going to let you take over now, and let's go to Madagascar.
Yeah, thank you. So I will share my screen um, right now. And um, yes,
All right, we'll bring it up here. I'm seeing it here.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Great. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for this invitation. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm really happy to be here today to join you and to talk about my work on the particular tree, the baobabs. So, first of all, we will talk about the baobabs as lifeline of Madagascar. But when I'm saying Madagascar, some of you may ask yourself, what do I know about Madagascar? Where is that country again? Well, this is Madagascar, as you see on this map, and it's one of the largest islands in the world. And you certainly heard about Madagascar in a movie, right? You're right, this picture can be in your mind. You are absolutely right. There are two key facts about Madagascar and its biodiversity. The first one, Madagascar is an island of lemurs, and these animals are only found in Madagascar. But the second one is that Madagascar is the island of these giant trees known as baobabs. There are 8 baobab species in the world, and 6 of them are only found in Madagascar. Now, when you will plan your next holiday, I recommend you to visit this place, the Avenue of Baobabs in the west of Madagascar. Before diving into my work on the baobabs, I'd like to share with you why I'm working on those trees and why this is important. This is me hanging out a baobab. Every time I show this picture, people are saying to me, "What are you doing, Seheno?" Yes, this is me. I'm very passionate about this giant tree, and for me, every work should begin with a passion. If you have a passion, you will be motivated no matter what, and you do your work for the rest of your life despite of all challenges. So this is important. But behind this passion, we should know why these giant trees are so fascinating. Baobabs are among the longest lived trees in the world. In this picture, you see baobab seedlings 2 weeks after germination, and the another one is the baobab, the oldest baobab called grandmother, which is 1,600 years. What does it mean? It means that these trees witness for 1,000 years of global and climate change. So this is important. But also, baobab fruits have high nutritional values like vitamins. And eating baobab fruits can replace 6 oranges to start your day. And finally, baobab fruit trade is also an important income generating activity for local people. So baobabs are really the lifeline of Madagascar. Now, you may be asking, are there many baobabs in the forest right now? Yes, there are. However, many of them are in danger. Their habitat is often burned, leaving baobab as orphan tree. And this is one of the biggest issues in Madagascar, the deforestation, which is a sad reality. But wait a minute. What if there is also another threat that leaves this iconic tree in jeopardy? What if, in addition to the habitat loss, they also lose their seed dispersers? So, this is my research work to investigate the mystery of Baobab seed dispersal. What's the problem? Well, do you see their fruits? Do you notice how big they are? What animals can even touch or break open these fruits and disperse their seeds so the baobab can constitute their next generation? We think that maybe only giant lemurs or giant animals can eat these fruits and disperse their seeds. Like this animal right now, do you notice how big this is compared to the current largest lemur? But what is the problem? Well, this giant lemur doesn't exist anymore. They were extinct 1,000 years ago. And their extinction can be compared to the mass extinction of large-bodied animals in South America. So my work is really related to this mystery, and my research question is how can baobabs survive without those large animals? What happens to the baobabs right now in forest? The seed dispersal of baobabs remains a mystery while they are constantly faced with many threats. And so that's why I decided to investigate the research on baobab seed dispersal and began many months on the field in the west of Madagascar, a 3-day journey before arriving on the field. What are we doing on the field? We do some field observations. We put camera trap in front of the baobabs to observe any animals that could interact with the baobab fruits on the canopy and on the ground. But also we want to investigate if seeds germinate in forest and if seedlings can survive in forest. And so what did you discover? There aren't any primary seed dispersers of baobabs right now. Did lemur touch the fruits and seeds? Especially for this particular baobab species, there aren't any lemurs on the canopy. There are no animals that can eat the fruits and the seeds. However, we observed one small animal that was interested in the seeds, as you see in this video. The animal will show up. This is a small endemic rodent, and they eat baobabs when the seeds are on the ground, when the seeds are already outside of fruits. But overall, baobab are really among orphan trees. And this is a sad reality. So what is the solution? We must save these giant trees. If there aren't any animals that disperse baobabs, we humans have to do the job. So a few months ago, we set up nurseries and we did reforestation activities. And the goal of reforestation is also to restore those important interactions between animals and plants. And we must also conserve and protect what remains in forest and never ever give up. So before closing my presentation, I just wanted to present here my team. I'm working with an amazing team in Madagascar, but also with some colleagues at the University of California in Berkeley. And this ends my presentation. I would like to say that I also am really grateful for these founders of my research work, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow, what incredible work that you're doing. I absolutely would love to go see a baobab tree. It's on my
Yes.
bucket list. um, I have a lot of questions about your research, but first, I really want to know, what does the baobab fruit taste like? Have you tried it, and what what kind of, like, what does it taste like? I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are, as I said, six Malagasy baobab species, and one of them, this particular tree, Adansona grandigeri, the fruits, the pulp, not the fruits inside, but when there are seeds, and around the seeds there is a pulp, like a powder, and so it tastes like not really an orange, but between tamarind juice. Do you know tamarind juice?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's like a seed, but not really sweet. Between, yeah,
so a bit
between.
citrusy. Uh,
Yes.
mm,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
well, I want to try one day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think the work that you're doing is really incredible. And I think what's really fun is actually seeing you go out in the field and do field work. And so, what is the hardest part of doing field work? I noticed you had some devices there on the trees. What are those devices? And what's it like to, actually get to work out in the field and with these species and going into different parts of the world and different parts of Madagascar?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So one of the biggest challenges is there are, I would say, two challenges for me. One challenge is that I the sea dispersal is really a mystery, and we tried a long time ago to discover what animals can eat the fruits, and we never we didn't have an answer. And so we tried to put camera trap on, we tried to climb the baobabs and to put the camera trap and to put camera trap on the in the front of the baobab. So it's I would say it's challenging, but it's also, you are, I'm passionate, so it's like a challenge, but I would say yes, I will find. That's the one of the challenges. And then another one is that it's really hard to do in the forest, to be in forest like 1 or 2 months in forest, in dry forest, yes,
Mm.
because we have to follow the baobab. We did some seed tracking experiments, and we also want to follow like some animals and to see if we can see the baobab, the seeds in their faces, So when you discover one seeds in the faces, you say, "Wow, this is a face, seeds in faces. Maybe they will germinate sometime." And so it's hard, but as I said, if you have the passion, we face many challenges like safety, it's really dry, and so we have to be prepared of any challenges in forest. And people are saying to you, no, say no, there are many, you cannot go because of the safety. You as human, you cannot go into the forest. And I said, no, I will go. I will go. This is what I want to do. And if we don't want to be in forest because there are many challenges, who can do that job? You have to try and to contribute to make a difference. So many challenges. Also, you have to find the funds, the grants. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the job, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
The job. So
I
that's
think, yeah, women are still really underrepresented in science, so it is such an inspiration to see you going out there and not just doing science work, but doing field science work, which, yeah, 2 months away from your family, out in the
yes,
field must be
yeah.
really challenging. But it's really important work, and work that we're celebrating today more than ever. Um, One of the questions that I have, I think one thing that I love about your research is learning that, okay, these giant animals that are now extinct are the ones that were so integral. I know that there are people out there trying to bring these giant animals back using new technologies, cloning DNA. What are your
Yes.
thoughts on that? Does that ever come up in your research? Do people want to bring back these animals as a way to using genetic technology, Jurassic Park style, and bring back these animals to ensure the biodiversity of the baobab tree?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a really a relevant question because with other plant species, the baobabs are among those what we say the orphan trees, because there are maybe in South America also some of the plant species that rely on those giant animals that are extinct now. And one of the solutions for some researchers is what they call the rewilding. So they want to reintroduce again these giant animals in forest because they are so important in the whole ecosystem. And one of the solutions that some of researchers may think as maybe one of the solutions is to reintroduce the giant tortoises, because there were also giant tortoises in Madagascar. And I've tried during my PhD that I tried with captive giant tortoises to give baobab seeds to them, and they ate the baobab seeds, and it remains 15 days in their in their digestive tract. And I was like collecting faces every day. And after 15 days, I discovered baobab seeds in their faces, in the giant tortoises' faces, like big faces. And I was amazed. And the seed germinated well. The one of I would say one of the problems is that we have to consider each context, because when we want to reintroduce the animals, we have to be sure that there are no hunting, or what is the ecosystem right now, because there are also other challenges, other threats like deforestation, like hunting, and you have also to consider what would be it has to be win-win. So for example, for local communities, if you explain that we have to introduce other animals, and is it really a benefit from the whole ecosystem? So I would say we can try, but we have to consider each local context. So, for example, for other baobab species in the northwest, they reintroduced giant tortoises, and it's a success actually. But in the dry forest in the southwest of Madagascar, the situation may be different. So we have to consider all of the factors and the context in local scale. Yeah.
Right. I can't imagine bringing back the giant lemur. It would
Yeah.
be pretty.
You pretty, yeah, I
Yeah.
also imagine, yeah, that would be really amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, Madagascar is such a biodiverse place. It's so rich. And so I think seeing those images of the trees that are sort of haunting looking, um,
Yes.
from the deforestation, that sounds like that's the biggest threat to baobab trees. What else are there? Other issues, political issues, or other impacts that are threatening the baobab, and what do you think is the solution? How do you think we can really get there for ensuring the biodiversity?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's a really good point, because so as I said, baobab is among of the flagship species in Madagascar. So when you go to Madagascar, you see, well, I want to see lemurs, but I want also to see baobabs with maybe other species. But for the baobabs, there are also another threats behind of the habitat loss, the deforestation. For the baobab fruits, for example, some companies, international companies, but also national companies, want to exploit and to buy the baobab fruits. And so we think that there may be over exploitation of the baobab fruits, because the fruits or the powder can be used in cosmetic use, for the hair, for your face, and many values. So it's really great. But the problem is when we don't see the equity or the benefits for local communities, it's a problem, and I want also in my research to see what would be the benefits for local communities and also for the other people, because we want to have like a sustainable value for the baobabs. So if you overexploited the baobab fruits and also don't give any benefit for local communities, you are losing our richness, and we don't want to do that. You want to protect our value, but you want also have to the local people have the benefit because they will protect what they value. So that's also one of the biggest issue right now, and I want to work hard to make a difference, no matter what, because it's important that I working with local people and to see there are sustainable value from the baobab. We can protect the baobabs, and the next generation will see the baobabs again. So that's one of the the issue, but we will work on it.
Yeah, well, thank you for doing this kind of work. It's so important. And one final question: what's next for you on the horizon, and can we follow your work?
Yeah, so the for the next step is we were going to continue to investigate the seed dispersal, and we want to also work on the genetics also. But yeah, the step is now the conservation is urgent. So we have to do the research, but we have to apply research finding on conservation. So that's my next step now.
Well, thank you very much, Seheno. It's fabulous work and a great message to
Thank
pass along.
you.
It's research plus really getting the message out there. So thank you very
Thank
much. And we're going to
Thank
bring in
you
our
very
next
much.
speaker, but continue this awesome work. And we can't wait to go see the baobab trees one day.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you all. Really a great opportunity to be here. So thank you.